Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another fantastic episode of Let's Play Pokemon Black. Of course, today we finished up our fighting there with Team Plasma, and now we are going over, I don't know, what is one of the most miraculous frickin' things I've ever seen in Pokemon ever. Right, we have like this long-ass bridge that really, legitimately, right, I'm gonna be honest with you, serves no purpose but to look frickin' cool. And does it look cool? You tell me. I think so. I think for a Pokemon game on a DS, this is like, look at this. How do you even accomplish this? Look at the stuff underneath, like routes that we could go. And then this long ass bridge. This is some really cool stuff. I gotta give it to the game. The game is doing some impressive stuff, and I'm loving it. I know somebody mentioned in a comment where I would rank this game in alignment with all the games that I played so far in the Pokemon series. And first of all, I'm gonna judge that with like a little sort of breaker in there. Games on the Switch are not in this ranking. Just because, I mean, Pokemon Legends Arceus is obviously a great game, and I'm super excited for the new Pokemon Legends game coming out. I really hope it's coming out for this Switch console. Something tells me it is not. There's going to be a new Switch console, and that's what it's coming out on. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen, because I really want to play it here on the channel when it comes out, but don't know, like, from a financial standpoint, if it's worth it, because there's so much stuff on the Switch that I haven't played that can be played on the channel that, like, I still need to get into. But I'm sort of going on a tyrant here, right? It's a soda pop kind of night. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. But somebody in a comment asked, you know, where do I think this Pokemon game lands as far as like generations go, right? And I would say still to this day, I mean, I grew up with generation 1 and 2. 2 is like number 1 in my heart. 1 is in second place, Gen 1. And then honestly, I think this one is coming in at a close third. I like what it's doing story-wise. I'm not in love with the Pokemon from this generation, but they're doing a much better job, right? Here's a prime example here, right? Gen 3 has a lot of Pokemon, and I think there's a lot of good ones, and then there's a ton of stinkers. Gen 4 has a very limited number of Pokemon. The ones that they introduce are very good, but I feel very underwhelmed with the Pokemon that come out of there, right? Like, I mean, not so much as like they weren't cool, right? Because Garchomp, Staraptor, like a lot of the Pokemon, Infernape, they're excellent Pokemon. But there's like a team of 6 that, no, I mean, out the gate, there's a team of 6 that is the best team of 6 to have in the generation, without a doubt. That could be said about any generation, but I feel even more so in Gen 4. But then beyond that, I think there's about 15 to 20 Pokemon in general that you can legitimately run through that game and have no problem with, and then the others are, why would you ever use them? Is the vibe that I get from Gen 6 or Gen 4 every single time I play through it. Like, why would you ever choose these garbage Pokemon when these ones are readily available and immediately usable, if not for a little bit of training? I think that's what holds Gen 4 back a lot. What holds Gen 3 back a lot for me is, I mean, people talk about how rough the level progression is in Gen 2, and I get it. Legitimately, it is a problem. But I've always felt like it's even more of a problem in Gen 3. I always have a hard time when I go up against Tate and Liza. Like, an ungodly difficult time. Like, especially in like a first run through, I would have no idea to expect that, and I feel like it's always a 10 level difference, and their Pokemon are so good that they completely wipe me the minute I get there, and then I have to go out and do all this training in the ocean, which is the worst place to do training for Tate and Liza because they have psychic types, but I think they also have ground typing built into their psychic type Pokemon. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but so the main area that you can train is electric typing, which overall does not help you in that generation. And sure, you could pick a grass Pokemon. Who does? Who does in Gen 3? Please tell me. How many of you pick the grass starter? And then amongst that, how many of you pick another grass type Pokemon if you don't pick the grass starter? Because I don't. I never do. Picking a grass type Pokemon honestly feels kind of stupid. That could be a controversial hot take that you drop down in the comments below, but I've never seen the benefit of having a grass type Pokemon on the team. Almost ever. I know we've had Airhead on a couple of episodes here, but it's why I ditched him. There's something about the grass typing that I cannot get behind, and I just don't like it. Venusaur is the only Pokemon I know that does it well, and that's because I know how to use Venusaur. And I feel like that's how all grass type Pokemons are. It's like you have to like slowly progress with them, learn what their strengths are, and lean into their strengths. And majority of the time when I'm playing a Pokemon game, don't have time to do that. But with that being said, I'm going to cut off the rant here. We're halfway through the episode, and I was just continuing to go there. Yeah. It was just a comment that I saw that I replied to, and I gave like a very short synopsis, but I really wanted to go in depth on like why I feel like this is legitimately the third best Pokemon game on handheld consoles that I played. Legends Arceus, I would say, is definitely above this. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I don't know. The same ranking as Gen 1. It's the same exact thing, in my opinion, with a couple of minute differences, but the same exact thing, if not easier than Gen 1 was originally, minus some additional content from like the remakes. I'm not even including remakes in this. See, this is where it gets it's all chaos. But if I'm ranking the original debut of games, it goes Gen 2, Gen 1, Gen 5. And it's not, yeah, like, it's interesting because I don't even particularly love all of the Pokemon on display here. Like, some of them I think are just kind of goofy, downright, but I don't know, this gen, it's just been hitting it on all angles for myself, which is not something I really expected, which is why I think, like, this episode here, which is more of like a, you know, we're battling some trainers, it's going to be some Team Plasma stuff, it's just sort of a little bit of growth. I felt like this was like a good episode to do like that sort of dump on, right? Where like I could really go into like what is pulling me in about this game, because everything tells me I should hate this game. Legitimately everything. Alright, I've seen the pictures. I know there's a Pokemon that's made of pure garbage. But look at my team. Right there on the right. I think they all look pretty good. I can't really knock any of them. I mean, one of them just sort of looks like a rock. One is just a bird. But Pidgey was just a bird. Geodude's just a rock with ripped biceps. Doesn't even have forearms. Go back and look at him. He has not been doing any tricep extensions, my man. It's just... It's a very interesting turn of events. Because I think the lore here, which you're getting piecemeal here, and like I said, I'm not going to go over it in great detail in this Let's Play. My job is to narrate this and try to make it fun. not read verbatim what's on the screen. But with that being said, I think the lore that's actually coming out of here is pretty dang solid. They traced them up to here. Why they chose to have a base directly across from the gym, I don't know. Probably a pretty horrific idea, if I'm gonna be honest. I think they even admit that. They said, I'm not reading what they had on screen. Initially, I am. I'm a fast reader, so if it seems like I'm just skipping through it to skip through it, I'm not. I tend to read things pretty quick, but when I'm doing the Let's Play, it is like maybe an eighth of my screen that I get to see when I do the voiceover, so like me reading over is impossible, but look at that guy. That's what I'm talking about for this generation. How could you see that guy and not say he's cool? That's one pretty cool dude. When you see the Pokemon that we're going to catch him over, I don't think we catch him this episode, but we catch him in the next one or two. See him scrolling up to see if there's any changes. Nope, we don't catch any new Pokemon here. But we definitely do in the next 1 to 2 episodes. I think our team becomes like not only dramatically different, but like so many cool Pokemon are introduced. Like it's out of this world how many new Pokemon are here that like are legitimately not only like viable to use, but like there's great alternatives, and I don't know. I may slowly be falling in love with Gen 5, which kills me as an OG fan to say, but I think time is coming, man. I think that's what it's coming to. I don't even know what to name this episode as we reach the end of it, because it was really just an average Joe rant, right? This whole episode was really just me sort of accepting this generation. And I feel like that might just be it. I mean, like, as I'm saying this, we got lore stuff going on right now. And I'm sorry if I'm distracting you from reading it. I apologize, sincerely. Feel free to mute my ass. But man, it's so good. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching the end of the episode. If you like this episode, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff is greatly motivational for myself in continuing to make videos just like this now and in the near future. I promise. Usually when it comes to Pokemon, we're a little bit more centered on things going on in the actual episode, and average Joe having an epiphany about a generation that he loves. But I felt like if there was any episode to really bring it up in, this would be the one, because we do have some lore, but it's not major, and we got some cool sightseeing done, and we got to see a cool new town in a way that's been laid out like never before, so I felt like that was cool to do. For context here, we'll be playing this episode, we'll be playing this series here, Pokemon Black, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga on Mondays and Wednesdays. Until we complete that, we are on episode number 5, The Empire Strikes Back, so we have quite a bit to go there. And then we'll be playing Mario vs. Donkey Kong on Sundays until we get through that. When we wrap up Mario vs. Donkey Kong, we'll be moving into Halo 2. I know that for sure. And then I'm sure once we wrap up this Let's Play, we'll be moving into another Pokemon Let's Play, but we still got quite a bit for that. I'll wrap up Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga. God knows what we're doing. So, lots of stuff moving, lots of variety here on the channel, stuff for you to check out. If you made it this far, I really, really appreciate you. And as always, we hope to see you all here on the next episode. But until then, as always, peace out, Girl Scout.